Hello, welcome to my first vlog. This is the first longer video that I am ever filming and making. So I'm kind of learning as I go with this. I thought that it'd be really cool though, since I have a craft show coming up later this month, to show you guys a bit more of the behind the scenes, how I prepare, how I make stuff. So if you're interested, let's get into this video and see what I've been up to this week. Starting off here for the intro clip, it's just me painting some butterfly earrings. I decided to do this first so the paint had plenty of time to dry. I didn't order too many supplies since I had most of everything that I needed, but I did order some more of these. They are clear acrylic blinks that I use for my keychains. I ordered some more of these since I was running a bit low. I think I ordered 70, which is kind of low quantity for how many I've been ordering, but I decided not to go too crazy. And this is where I keep all my keychain blanks in just this cardboard box that I sort of makeshift together. And I've been separating them into A grade, B grade, and C grade. I decided a bit ago that I'd separate the ones that have the least amount of scratches and sort of use those first, just to have the best quality possible with these acrylic blanks, since they do come scratched up a lot of times. I decided to keep the A grade ones loose so that I could easily grab one or two, and then I just kept the B and C in their bundles. After I put the keychains away and a few other products, I decided to organize a bit. I only filmed me organizing this drawer, but I did a lot more organizing and cleaning just to have everything ready. Speaking of organizing, I went ahead and laid out my concha earrings by color just to make sure that I had enough of each type. I didn't have enough yellow, and unfortunately I didn't have enough time to make any yellow, but I'll have them up on my website for like sort of made to order. So yeah, no yellow for the craft show, but it's just something that kind of happens and you have to accept that you won't have enough time to prepare or make enough of something. But at the end of the day, you just gotta go with what you have. But yeah, it just sort of just happens. I was like, oh, I have plenty of time to prepare for this. And then all of a sudden, it was like, I'm just a few days away from the craft show. I'm like, no. But things must keep going. Just accept things as they are. And here are the little planner pads. I just wanted to show really quickly how I package them up for shows. I have a little card with the information. I have a price sticker at the bottom corner, and I have my logo stamp in the middle. But yeah, what I'm doing here is counting up all the different variants of the planner pads. And I do it by hand first, just keeping tally on a notepad, and then I input it later into the POS system, which I'm going to show a bit later. But yeah, I'm just separating them out here. Since I have A grade and B grade, I think for this show I'm only going to bring the A grade one, since I'm not going to have as much storage for all my product. And here are the little tally marks that I do. It's kind of old school doing it on paper first, but I just find it easier just so I don't have to reach for my keyboard, which is all the way at the end, pushed back whenever I'm working on something. So I found this easier, just do it on paper and then do it on the computer. And this is the jewelry box I was talking about a bit earlier. I just kept everything in here since the last show, since I knew I had another one coming up. But yeah, I just went ahead and took out all the jewelry. I sorted it by type and then by size, since I do have different variants, and I just counted it up to make sure that it aligned with what I had on the POS system. As you can tell, I've been doing a lot of counting of my products. Sometimes I do it at the end, just after I have everything made, which is how I did it last time. But this time I counted it, whenever I had time, just to see how much of each product I had, so I can focus on making more of the one that I have a little bit of. But since the event was coming up really quickly, I had to really decide what I wanted to focus making more of. I decided to focus making a few Christmas bouquets, which are these right here. It starts off as just cardboard and tissue paper, and then I go ahead and add on little flowers. And in this case, I added some candy canes. I just wanted to make them more festive and seasonal, you know, since it's holiday season coming up. But yeah, I think I only had time to make 4 of these since they do take a lot of time to make. But speaking of quantity, here I have the square POS system, and I just use the inventory counter. This is where I take the little tallies, count them up, and then input them into the system. And just repeat for everything. Inventory recount is what I do. If I am adding more, I do stock received. As I was counting up inventory, I started to see what I needed to make more of. I didn't have any of these butterfly bookmarks pre-made, so I decided to make some. The new design also looks really nice, which is this one right here, the flower pots. I had to make some regular bookmark, magnetic bookmarks, and stickers since I didn't have any of this design. I think I only finished this design like 2 weeks ago or something, so I had to really focus on making some of this. Of course, I didn't make like too much of it either, since I do have a lot of different designs. I decided to make like 2 or 3 batches of this design since I feel like these flowers, I feel like they'll do pretty well. But it's kind of the tricky part for me about selling in person and like craft shows and stuff. That since my items are all handmade, hand painted, you know, I have to pre-make a lot of product, and it's time consuming, so I obviously can't pre-make like 60 of each item, for example. I have to really select what I'm going to make, what I think is going to sell well, and that's the tricky part. You don't know. But for this one, I decided to make a lot of these stickers, and here they are. And I'll conclude the ASMR here for now. I do want to jump in again. Since this is supposed to be a vlog, I'll upload the ASMR separately if you guys want. Oh, here are my butterfly magnetic bookmarks. I only have 2 sets of these, so I need to make more of these for sure. They sell really good since they're cute little butterflies. I do have these festive ducks. They're new design for this year, but I'm not sure how well they'll do. I only have 4 of these, so if they all sell out, they sell out. If not, then I won't have any festive leftovers. And then these ones, I have 4 only, so maybe I'll make more of these. I already have a lot of these ones. I don't need to make more of these. But yeah, my bad, I got sidetracked with the cute designs. But as I was saying, I just wanted to jump in here during this part of the vlog since I'm just counting really. I'm not really doing anything too interesting. If anyone's even watching at this point, because retention rate, we're kind of near the end of the vlog. But if anyone is and anyone has any questions about anything I do, about anything in specific, let me know and I'll try to either answer or make another video. I'm not sure if I'm gonna make more of these. I know for sure I want to make another vlog style one. sort of like a part 2 to this video, but showing different things that I'm gonna do to finish preparing. And then also, hopefully I have a little bit of time to film me setting up my table and a little bit of the craft show itself. But if not, at the very least, hopefully I can show you guys my table setup and how I was able to set it up this time. Also, quick interruption in the video. I'm gonna be counting the paper bookmarks for this part, so you're gonna see me separating them out into categories and then counting them out from there. But anyways, we'll see how much I have time to film. The event itself is gonna be 9 hours long, from mall opening time 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. But I'm gonna be at least putting in an hour before to set up, and then maybe half an hour to an hour after to. I don't actually remember how much time we have after the show to get everything packed up. I'll check in before I go, obviously, but I don't think I'm gonna have like a constant flow of people coming to my table. I think it's just gonna be like little waves here and there, as it typically is, but I think more so at the mall, since people are doing their own thing. But we'll see how it goes. I'm not really sure if it's gonna go good or not. If I didn't already mention, I'm doing the Etsy Guild Market. I couldn't find too much information, especially for the particular location that I'm going to be going to. But I decided it's a holiday, so if anything, it'll be a good time to take a risk and see, you know, how it goes, how it is. Either way, I'm really excited, and we'll see how it goes. But anyways, here are all the bookmarks all sorted out. And the next thing I'm going to be doing is actually making some price tags. I keep them all in this little photo album container thing. And the first thing I'm going to be doing is sorting them by type, just to see which ones I need to make more of. Alright, so after counting them, sorting them, I think I'm only missing the $5 price tag, so I'm going to make some more of those. And I'm also going to make some blank price tags in case I want to do custom prices or do some sales, things like that. So what I'm doing is I'm going to import into the Cricut design space. I resize it and then try to fit as many as possible onto one page. I'll print it out, and then using the Kiss Cut settings in my Cricut, I'm going to cut them all out individually so they're easy to peel. And then once I have them all Kiss Cut, I'm going to cut them manually just to make them into smaller pieces so that they fit inside the container they're being stored in. And then here I have a few items that need price tags, so I'm just going to go ahead and price them out right now. So as you can see, the stickers are super easy to peel off and stick to any product. So I'm just going to go ahead and do this for all the ones that are missing price tags. And these are the Festive Duck bookmarks. I decided to make a few more just because I don't have many of this design since it's new. So kind of the same process. I just go ahead and put it into the Cricut design software. First, starting off with the backing card, I print that out. And I'm using tape because my mats are not sticky at all. But I'm going to go ahead and cut this with the Cricut. Using a deep setting, I think I do like heavy cardstock or something, just to make sure it cuts all the way through. And I'm just going to peel the backing card off. And I like to make a few of them at a time just so I don't have to switch back and forth between the backing card and the actual bookmark itself. Especially since I use a thinner paper for the backing card. I use like regular cardstock, and then for the actual bookmark itself, I use a heavy, high quality cardstock. So I don't want to keep switching between the two different paper types, just because it gets a bit annoying. So, but yeah, I made plenty of backing cards here. It's time to switch to the bookmark. So all I do is I have it on a separate layer, and I just go ahead and bring that one up, and then I just go ahead and print it out. And I just use the highest quality settings for my printer, and I make sure the bleed is off as well, even though I don't think it really matters since the outline is white in this case. But anyways, I just go ahead and print that out, And then same thing, we're just going to put them onto the Cricut mat. Before cutting them out, I am going to apply a matte laminate on them using a squeegee. And then here's what they look like all cut out. The next thing I'm going to do is fold them in half. I found the easiest way to do it is to lightly score it using the back of my scissors. Straight down the middle, and then usually it makes it easier to fold it exactly in the middle. So I'm going to be doing that to all the bookmarks here. And once they have been scored and folded, it's time to apply the magnet. I just use a little magnet square, and that's the bookmark. There's 3 of these to the set, so I'm going to be making these 3, and then I'll put them onto their backing card. And that's what they look like when they're all finished. And I'm also going to be making some sticker sheets since this is a new design. These are much easier to make since all I have to do is print them out and then cut them. I do also use the high quality settings for this. I already have it all programmed. If you guys want to see in another video like more specifics, you can let me know. But yeah, these are pretty easy to make. All I have to do is stick them down onto the Cricut mat after they have been printed. But that's basically just how I make the sticker sheets. It's pretty easy. I just have to make many more of these. But anyways, that sort of gives you an idea of what I do to prepare for the craft show. As I said, I'm going to try to make a part 2 of this, just showing a little bit more of it, but we'll see how it goes again. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you did like it, then please leave a like on this video. And if you want to see more, don't forget to subscribe. I feel so awkward asking that. But thank you. See you in the next vlog.